How is women's suffrage related to social justice? Imagine a world where half the population cannot vote or influence the laws that govern their lives. This was the reality for women in many countries until the suffrage movement changed the game. Women's suffrage, or the right for women to vote, is deeply tied to social justice. It addresses the inequality and exclusion women faced in political life. From a socialist viewpoint, women's suffrage goes beyond just gaining the right to vote. It challenges broader social and economic inequalities linked to class and gender. Social justice aims for fairness in power, resources, and opportunities. Women's suffrage aligns with this mission by demanding equal political rights for women who had been marginalized. When women gain the right to vote, they can influence laws affecting their lives. This includes important issues like labor rights, education, health, and social welfare. These topics are central to social justice. In socialist thought, women's suffrage is especially important because it connects with the struggle for working-class rights. Socialist feminists argue that women's political rights must be seen alongside the fight for working-class freedom. In the early 20th century, socialist parties often led the charge for universal suffrage. They believed voting rights should be available to all workers, regardless of gender or wealth. They viewed suffrage as a tool to dismantle both capitalist exploitation and patriarchal control. The history of women's suffrage in New Zealand is a prime example. New Zealand became the first country to grant women the vote in 1893. This victory was influenced by social justice reforms rooted in progressive and socialist ideas. It was part of a larger movement to create a fairer society by expanding democratic participation. Socialist activists often critiqued mainstream suffrage campaigns. They argued that these campaigns focused too much on gaining the right to vote without addressing economic inequalities. They insisted that true social justice required linking suffrage with improving women's living conditions, such as fair wages and access to education. Women's suffrage was not just an end goal but a step towards transforming society. This transformation aimed to eliminate both gender and class oppression. Practically, women's suffrage under socialist influence led to more political engagement among working-class women. It also resulted in the creation of women's labor organizations and the inclusion of women's rights in broader social reforms. This approach ensured that voting rights contributed to advancing social justice. It promoted policies benefiting marginalized groups, not just privileged women. In essence, women's suffrage is related to social justice by challenging exclusion and inequality. From a socialist perspective, it connects gender equality with the struggle for class rights. It represents a vital reform that expands democratic rights and supports the goal of a fairer, more inclusive society.